Hey Damien here for Automotive Superstore. This is Pioneer's DMH-ZF7650BT 9-inch floating screen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto head unit with a whole bunch of features you're going to love. Let me show you. So in the box, the unit comes as two main components. There's the DIN-shaped chassis that mounts in the dash, and then what bolts to that is the 9-inch screen. And so a little bag of screws that comes with to affix the screen. It plugs in, and there's a little interface that plugs in for all the electrical connections between the screen and the chassis, and it bolts together, and then you can adjust the screen for tilt and for up and down position, and there are a host of positions you can choose from. It's a really handy system. I also find that 9 inches is a fantastic size. It's really, really big in the dashboard, however, not so big that it dominates things or covers your aircon vents or other secondary controls that you may need access to. So 9-inch, almost a perfect screen size in my view. You also get a GPS antenna that's required for the CarPlay and Android wireless system. Get the main wiring loom, obviously, to plug it in for power and earth and connections like that. The internal amplifier is 22 watts RMS by 4. You get a full printed owner's manual, an extension for the single USB on the back, that's 1.5 amps of charging, front, rear and subwoofer RCA pre-outs, as well as an auxiliary in, your camera input and an output for an external monitor if you've got one. Your Bluetooth microphone, obviously, and then if you require it, a wide steering wheel control loom. Now, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto can be both wired or wireless on this unit. It can also screen mirror both of those wirelessly. There's also the WebLink system. For that, you download an app and it does a different way of mirroring your phone. It's kind of cool. I'll show you that in a moment. The screen itself is 1024 by 600 pixels of native resolution. I tried some files via flash drive up to 1080p. They look fantastic on this screen. On top of that, I think this screen is probably one of the very best I've ever used as a touchscreen. It's almost as good as a modern smartphone or iPad, and that's really, really refreshing to find, because a lot of car touchscreens are pretty poor in performance. This one's fantastic. Even though it doesn't say it plays high-res music files, I tried a couple of FLAC files up to 24-bit and 96 kilohertz in sampling, and it played those quite happily. So here's your standard Apple CarPlay screen. You can access our apps, split screen. Of course, you get your music apps, your communication apps, and your navigation. For Android Auto, it works just the same, just swipe up and down instead of left and right. To go into the main menu, we just hit the Pioneer button. Here we can choose sources. Got all your different sources here. Back to the main menu screen. What I really like about Pioneer's new system, they've got this sidebar here. And so we can see, while we're accessing the menu here, we can still go forward and backwards on the track. We can mute, we can pause, and then you can go in here and there are additional features in here you can access as a shortcut. Darken the screen, screen mirroring, all kinds of stuff. Really handy thing. It's a really nice new feature from Pioneer for their units, and I really love it. Let's jump into settings. Click the easel, you've got your background you can change. Now you've got dark mode and light mode to choose from in here. In appearance, there's your dark mode, there's your light mode. Multicolor illumination for the side here, or you can go here and select anything from across the rainbow. So with the WebLink app installed, I can select WebLink on here, select OK. And here, it's a whole different menu system for looking at your phone. You can give it access to your videos on your phone. Like in here, for example, these are the videos that are on my phone. This is actually access to YouTube. And then another way of looking at the music that's on your phone. Or you can come back into Apple CarPlay. It'll switch out of WebLink. and switch you back to Apple CarPlay. Connect via Bluetooth to the unit. And there we have wireless Apple CarPlay, just like that. So we'll go into settings and into audio. So loudness, adjustable, low, mid, or high. Individual speaker level adjustment, which is important for time correction, which this unit does have. Time alignment, there we go. Choose your position. It'll start with, say, front right, and then you adjust from there. Now you may note that this pictures a tweeter, a mid-range, and a woofer, and that's because I'm currently set up in what's called network mode. It's something that a lot of the higher end Pioneer units have, and it means you can have a choice of having high pass for full range speakers in the front, high pass for full range speakers in the rear, and a subwoofer, or as it's depicted here, tweeter, mid-range, and subwoofer. So going into crossover, you'll see here that I've got subwoofer, mid-high pass, mid-low pass, or high. So it's currently in network mode. If I was in two-way standard mode, it would be front high pass, rear high pass, subwoofer low pass. So here I can just click here to change the slope from 6 to 24 dB per octave, and then slide here to change the frequency to whatever frequency I like. Here I choose the mid-low pass. Again, I can vary the filter slope, and I can vary the frequency. I can also change the phase to 180 degrees out of phase for any pair of channels, and I can just make that all the way through. It can just be a pass through instead of a low pass. Here the subwoofer is the same, though it can go steeper, it can go to 36 dB per octave. That's just about as good a crossover as you can get on a head unit. Bass boost up to 4 levels, EQ, a bunch of preset curves to play around with, or flat, and this is a 13-band graphic equalizer and subwoofer level control. You'll find that in here, and you can turn the sub off in here as well. There you have it, Pioneer's DMH-ZF7650BT. 9-inch floating screen, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, and a host of really cool, useful features you're going to love. There'll be a link down below if you want to grab one for yourself. While you're down there, like and subscribe. See you next time.